Welcome, everybody. What we're doing today is a refresher training for Phase 3 and Phase 5 of our Road to Mental Readiness training. The purpose of the refresher training is really to bring you guys up to date on some of the recent changes to the Phase 3 and Phase 5 packages as a result of incorporating your feedback and the hard work done by our Family R2MR working group. I hope what you're going to find is a far more family-friendly program, as well as some interesting direction that we're going with the R2MR package for families. So some of the key changes that you're going to notice in the program when I get to the refresher component is the first thing is it's far more flexible and easily adapted to the needs of your families in your various communities. As you will see, the packages are now modular. So there is a core package that delivers the key concepts, but also some optional packages that you can insert at various points that will allow you to customize it and tailor it for the needs of your group. The look and feel, as well as the language, is now far more family-friendly and much less military, which was an important piece of feedback that we incorporated. And that, finally, the military R2MR program has really grown exponentially over the last 6 years. And we're seeing a real difference in the areas of resilience skills, mental health knowledge, and stigma reduction. However, I think that the family program has lagged behind on that, and we're really just providing the pre- and post-deployment training. So what we've decided in conjunction with the working group is to develop a suite of family training packages. So I'm going to talk to you today, just before we get started, on what that suite's going to look like down the road as we develop some of the current and future R2MR products for families. So today, obviously, what you're going to see is the revamped Phase 3 and Phase 5 packages, along with key modifications to make if your audience is full of only parents of deployed members. So if you have a parent-only audience, I'll also be able to cue you as to what the small changes would look like to deliver to that unique audience. Over the coming months, hopefully sooner rather than later, we've just completed a parallel package. So once you've delivered Phase 3 and Phase 5, we now have a package for parents of young children or dependent children. So there'll be a Phase 3 pre-deployment package for parents of dependent children, workshop, and then also a Phase 5. And I want to thank some of our working group members who really contributed to the development of that program. So you're going to be hearing more about that in the coming months. We're also currently, with the help of our MFRC, we're currently developing a specialized package for adolescents, both to manage the deployment challenges, but also some of the more generic challenges in being an adolescent in a military family, such as postings and frequent absences of their parent. Hoping that's going to be ready to go in the spring of 2015. We're also finishing up, as we've been very busy, we're also finishing up a workbook format of the pre- and post-deployment training. So for you MFRCs that have really given me the feedback that, listen, this is a great program, Kim, but I have one family in my area that needs the information, so putting up a big PowerPoint presentation and walking through these slides feels so artificial, and I agreed. And so we looked at combining the information into more of a workbook format that you'd be able to sit in your office across from a family and provide that training one-on-one. That's a pretty exciting project that I really think is going to make a huge difference for some of you that are in that situation. Again, that project should be finishing up in the next few months, and as soon as it's done, we'll get it out to you. Finally, in the suite of deployment-related material, the last piece that we're starting to launch right now, and hopefully we'll have it finished by the summer of 2015, is a deployment package that really addresses the needs of families who experience continuous frequent absences. So those units where it's not your traditional 6-month deployment, it's the family members are constantly dealing with an in and out, rapid short-term deployments, such as we would see with our special forces or in our Air Force or to some extent in the Navy families. So again, that's a package that's currently under development that we're hoping to have out soon. And then finally, once we finished all of the deployment suites, we're really going to look at developing more generic resilience trainings for families. So some of the ideas that have come across my desk is a generic package for families that are new to the forces, online materials specified or tailored for the needs of out-canned families and families who are spread across the world, and then other material as necessary. So I guess just to give you a bit of a heads up as to what's coming your way, and please contact myself or DMFS if you have any other suggestions for areas that you think the advisory group or the working group should be looking at. On that note, I just want to really quickly acknowledge the hard work done by the members of the Family R2MR Working Group and Advisory Committee. These are representatives from various MFRCs across the country, as well as partnership between the Directorate of Mental Health and Family Military Services. And I think together it's been just such a joy to work on that. So I just want to acknowledge the hard work and contribution of each and every member that sits on that panel. So finally, I'm finished the spiel, and we're going to get into the actual Phase 3 material that I want to walk you through. What you might want to do now is pause your video, because as you'll notice on the screen in front of you, there's a URL that's in front of you. If you would like to follow along with the manual and download it and print it so that as I'm walking you through the Phase 3 and Phase 5 packages, you can follow along and have something in front of you if that's your preferred learning style, feel free to do that. You can access the materials at the link that's on the screen, and when you've done that, replay the video and we'll continue on with the training.